helps to roll the windows up. Anyways, I'm driving home. 10-hour break, then I'm already an hour and a half into I have to be back at work at 1 o'clock in the morning, so I can leave at 1:30, 1:40-ish, somewhere there, and head back up to Memphis. So I thought I would do a chat on the way home. I don't know if anyone's out there, but if you are, please leave a comment. And I left the link in the chat if someone wants to hop in. Kind of works better if I get someone to talk to. And for those that hopped in the other night, thank you for keeping me awake. That was awesome. This job tends to push you to your limits. And I'm still injured. I'm still healing. And I'm sort of at the end of my physical limits. Keep pushing them. But I guess that's how you make progress. When you make a living. A good one for the most part. As long as I don't hurt myself and end up off work for a month and a half. So, everyone leaving all these factories and trying to get home at the same time. I usually don't leave at this time. I'm usually going home when I get to the yard, the sun's down, all the factory workers are going home. But if you leave around 4 or 5 o'clock, all these refineries and everything are letting out. So there's just lines of cars trying to get out. There's cops stopping the traffic, and it's crazy. But everybody's got to work. And it's like a bunch of worker ants, all in line, in a hurry to get where they're going. Everyone in a hurry to get home, get something to eat. Same routine, day after day after day. And at least with my job, I get a break in the monotony. It's not like looking at a window of an office all day or, going to the same plant, the same everything. The scenery changes. I get to go somewhere and do something. At this point, it all kind of merged together. But I don't know if I'm cut out for anything else. Super bad videos. Hello, how are you doing? I haven't been up for too long. I crashed when I got unloaded. And thank y'all for keeping me up the other night. That was awesome. I got where I was going. I was late, and I'll be late again tomorrow. Unfortunately, the government says I have to take a 10-hour break. And it doesn't matter if I'm tired or not, I have to take a break. It kind of messes you up a little. There's sometimes where if I would have just kept going, I would have been better off than if not. Because if I left right now, I would be there before the sun came up. And I would be fine. But the whole circadian rhythm thing, where usually you start getting tired, around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, your body's sort of set with the cycles of the sun. And 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, right before the sun comes up, you get really sleepy. Yeah, and I've got the trailer loaded. Yeah, I drove from north of Memphis, Tennessee to Deer Park, Texas, loaded, drove to the yard, parked. If I didn't have to take this break, I could drive all the way up there and be unloaded before I got tired, like where I actually had to sleep. But no, I gotta go home, I gotta sleep, I gotta get up, and well, it's 5 o'clock now. I'm probably gonna have to get up about 10 o'clock so I can get everything ready and get back to work. And we'll leave the yard about 1, so about 10:30. So I've got to be awake in 5.5 hours. So by the time I get up there, I'm gonna be tired again. And I guess that's just the way it is. The government has to tell me that I'm tired. I get why. I mean, there was a day when we would drive coast to coast. Drivers would push it too far. And if you could let me know how my audio is coming in, I would greatly appreciate it. But, and yeah, I've done those coast to coast runs where, like, when I pull a reefer, I'd leave the house in the Houston area and I go to like Center, Texas or Nacogdoches or somewhere, and I'd pick up a trailer that was already late. Drop and hook, grab it, haul ass. And you would stop but for fuel. You'd back your log up, you do everything you had to do. You get into California, drop off a load of meat, usually chicken or something that's down here. You get up to the meat patch, you'd have beef and pork, get up into Kansas and Iowa. But usually in Texas, you're picking up chicken. And you get out there, unload, and hopefully you had a drop trailer to pick up somebody else loaded. If not, you'd have like 7 picks stretched out from like Salinas all the way down through Oxnard, Garden City. Got the produce market there in LA, and you'd end up in like Yuma, Arizona at TNA, standing at a payphone, calling in, and you might get 2 or 3 hours of sleep done. And then you just drive as far as you could, and you'd stop for fuel, usually someplace like Gallup, New Mexico, or Tucumcari. If you can make it to Amarillo, you go that far. And you get back on the road, people would be talking on the CB, it would keep you up. And until everyone split off, I mean, some people would split off at 44, that's cool. But then everybody split up when you got to Memphis, and people went down 78 going to Atlanta or kept going on 40. If you kept going on 40, you could go a little further. Like you could make it from the West Coast to Carolina without sleeping. That's not a problem. But if you went down 78, then everything would get quiet. And as soon as everything got quiet, you got tired. And you're just looking for a place to park the truck because you can't see the road. You get tired that quick. And due to those days of people pushing it that hard, that's why we all have computer logs now and a tattletale tell us. It's crazy. But we didn't have a choice back then. It's, they couldn't legally fire you for refusing to do it because they're asking you to do something it's not exactly legal. But what they would do is they would starve you. If you couldn't make the loads, if you couldn't do it, they wouldn't give you anything. They would give you so little work that you had to find another job. You know, it's kind of like, construction companies and stuff like that. If one of the bosses is racist or something, they can't fire somebody for whatever race they are. They will just stop giving them work and say, we don't have work for you today. And after, 2 or 3 weeks doing that, they'll find another job. It's not right. And there should be some legal recourse to that. But that's just the way the world works, unfortunately. And, it's, or if you're working retail, they'll call you in for some BS sort of thing. And doesn't even have to be your fault. And they'll document it. And you'll kind of know what they're doing. And they'll get to that, what do you call it, third documentation. And they'll fire you and say you've been written up 3 times. I think half the time that people don't realize that they've even been written up. You know, they'll find a way if they want to get rid of you. They will. What's even worse is workman's comp. Every time I've seen someone claim workman's comp, what a company will do is they will take care of the employee until they are no longer legally liable. And the first chance they get, they fire them. And that's just another thing. It's the way it is. It's not right. And unless you can get someone to take the case pro bono, most of us don't have the money to really take anyone to court or do anything about it. So it's just the way it is. Unfortunately. So who all is out there? I'm wondering if Superbad's still out there. Or if anyone else is. If you are, please leave a comment. Let me know you're there. Just kind of rambling on my way home. I'd like to get my bike out of the shop. That way I can go riding with my son. That's going to take a little more money though. I got to work to make the money. And I'm having them add a few things to it. And if you're listening and you don't know, I have a Harley Fat Bob. Actually, an e-bike 2022. Obviously, the newest bike I've ever had. I've had others. I was in a wreck recently. But if you've ever seen the bike, what I'm putting on it is mustache bars. I mean, mine's while it's there to get fixed from the wreck. And I'm wanting to put some floorboards on it. Just like, the big footboard, not floorboards, but just little footboards to put my feet on. Because after my leg being ripped open by the peg, I don't want to peg up there anymore. So they're going to do the repairs, and I'm going to pay for that, and the bike should be ready. That, I'm going to turn the mirrors upside down. It's too hard to see out of them at my height. I've heard if you're like 5'11" or under, the mirrors work pretty good. And anyone who's like over 5'11", and some people that are 5'11", end up turning the mirrors upside down so that you're not looking at your forearm. Either that or I could raise the handlebars up. It's got drag bars on it right now. And I've thought about either raising it up a few inches or putting like a set of mini ape hangers on it. And a set of mini ape hangers would actually look really good. The drag bars do too, but I don't know. Decisions. I am glancing back over at the chat. Every once in a while I get through a red light or something. And the only one who's left a comment so far is super bad. So at least I know it's getting out there. Oh, private chat. Oh, you left it in the private chat. Cool, cool. All right, I just knocked myself out of the chat. There we go. I saw the private chat. If you want to hop in, hop in. It'd be kind of good to talk to someone. I left a link right above your comment. And that would be awesome. I'm probably only going to be on here like maybe 20 more minutes because when I get home, I'm going to end the chat. And I gotta go clean up and shower. And one of the reasons I'm heading home is so my wife can help with my leg. And it's sort of in an awkward position. I can do it myself. She does it better. And go ahead and clean it up and change the bandages and everything and get it real good. That, not to be too gory, it tends to bleed a lot when the bandages are changed. So I try not to do that in the truck, and I don't want to do that in the truck stop shower. Those places are nasty. And it is closing up though, finally. Starting to get some new skin. And I mean, it's still kind of big, but it's smaller than it was. I thought about posting pictures, but I'm sure that violates some sort of YouTube rule or whatever. And I don't really think anyone wants to see that. I'm not sure. Someone might. Need to sort of do a documentary video of the repairs on the motorcycle and I guess me as well. I don't know when I'm going to do that. But I might. me see if I can. Okay, that's the wrong comment thing. Let me go to the other one. I can hear the guy's radio. I don't know if that's coming through, but I can hear the guy's radio beside me. There you are. Okay, are you there? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I think for some reason it's coming through on my phone. Let me go to the settings.
Can you hear me?
See what it's coming through on. On my end, it's coming through on the phone and not the headset. I don't know why.
Okay. Here. Let me do this.
But it is. I might change it real quick and change it back. See if it changes it. Alright, are you there? Hello?
I don't know what's going on. My audio is all jammed
I don't know why the speaker's coming through on my phone. Should be coming through on the headset. That's what it was doing the other night. How do I change
up. Trying to experiment with running this through my audio in my
Huh?
car.
Hold on, I can't hear it.
I'm actually driving home right now from work. Oh, what happened? Is it kicker? Oh, there's here.
Now, for some reason, it's just wanting to play on my phone. I can't hear the phone. There's another guess. No, that's you. Okay. So how do I fix this? Separate audio file for discuss.
Uh,
I don't know how to fix this. Hold on. Say something again. I want to see if I can hear you. You there?
I don't know if it's my ear or my ear. Probably my ear. But I'm trying to run it through the Bluetooth in my car or in my truck, and the audio is really choppy.
My audio is?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I'm running it through my car radio or if it's just my reception.
I don't know. I'm hearing you really good on my phone, but I gotta hold it up to my ear. For some reason, it's not playing through the headset. I don't know how to switch that.
Right.
So, the settings, audio, be going through headset. But see, that's just the microphone thing. It's not the speaker part of it. And that's what I need, is the speaker part. So, okay, I guess I'll have to hold it to my ear. You still there?
Alright, let me try this when I get to the house.
Okay, well, hopefully all of you can hear me. And hopefully he hops back in. I don't know why my phone was like that. It would, I believe the microphone's picking up from my headset, at least it should be. And the speaker was playing through my phone. And it's not playing loud enough through my phone. So that's hard to hear. Very hard to hear. But I don't know if you're going to hop back in or not. If not, thank you for trying. I appreciate it. Could be some confusion with the Okay, I'm back. And I'd kind of like to try that again. If someone hops back in, see if that works. Ended up disconnecting the headset and well, reconnecting it. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I'll probably talk on here for 10 more minutes, maybe 15. I'm in between Crosby and Huffman, heading home. In the construction, if anyone lives out here. It's gonna be nice when they finish all the construction. Going from a 2-lane to a 4-lane. But progress, I guess. It just sucks when they close the whole thing down and make it 1-lane. Like, in certain areas they did that for a bit without warning. and the road's going to be widened up past my house, around the curve. I don't know how far to Porter they're going, or if they're just going to go to 99, or what they're going to do. But that's also another option for me going to work, is to hop 99. And I don't know how much quicker it'll be, but if something happens going this direction, there's always the other direction. And it's also getting out of the neighborhood. I don't know if they're going to raise the road up where it floods. The bridge never actually floods, like going over Lee's Bayou. But, like right before and right after it will. I don't think the bridge has actually flooded over. But sections of the road before and after it will. And then, like the East Fork San Jacinto, that will flood over on that end. I think it floods over that bridge. It may have flooded the bridge one time at Lee's Bayou. So I don't know if they're going to raise it up because of that. If they do, that would be awesome. I do know the road needs to be raised going over the San Jacinto River, though. Because what happens is we get trapped in there like an island. And that's not good. But I mean, I've got everything I need. Plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of ammo. Because unfortunately, when that happens, you have to worry about the thieves. It's like during Hurricane Harvey, we had the copper thieves and all the meth heads. They were looking for homes that people had left. Like, there's a hurricane. They evacuated, and they were going in to steal the copper out of everyone's homes. The only way that was stopped is neighbors making armed presence known. So there's that. And that's the thing with a gun too. Usually no one has to be shot. It's just once the thieves started seeing people walking around with guns, they stopped stealing. Sort of a self-preservation thing. Or whatever's in that person's house isn't worth taking. It's not worth your life. And the people out here will shoot you. In fact, there's a few of them that are probably itching too. Especially if their house has been broken into a few times or something. So the problem we're having right now is car theft. And it started sort of at the beginning of the pandemic. And what they would do is they go through breaking in. They'd hit a neighborhood, and which all these neighborhoods used to kind of be a neighborhood out in the country. Huffman was a small town out in the country, and I live in a subdivision that was kind of more out in the country. It's sort of expanding. It's still kind of country, but they're making my subdivision bigger. I don't like it. We had a tiny little cute subdivision, and now they're adding on to it. But they come through and they'd hit all the cars. and they got shot at a few times, and no one actually hit the thieves. But at the end of the night, what they would do is they would end by stealing someone's car. And when they'd end up catching them, like one time they got 4 kids and a stolen car with 4 or 5 stolen guns, because people are stupid enough to leave their guns in their car. So then the thieves get their guns. I don't leave anything in my car. When I get out, when I get home, my bag will go inside, my purse will go inside, my gun will go inside, and there'll be nothing in here. But, they caught him and they let them go. It was like a slap on the wrist. $100 bail, they're out of jail, and because of COVID at the time, and 3 days later they're hitting another subdivision, and it was a repeat cycle. So now they've graduated to mostly just stealing cars, and I don't know where they're taking them. I mean, sometimes they find them, they'll be stuck down in the bayou or whatever. You don't really want them back at that point. And sometimes they don't find them. There's a guy in a neighboring subdivision who hit a deer on his motorcycle, and his wife came and grabbed him, took him to the emergency clinic, and went back to get his bike, and his bike was gone. They stole it. I don't think he's found his bike yet. So there are a lot of thieves out here. It used to not be that way, but the city keeps getting bigger. Houston keeps expanding. They keep making more and more loops, and because you have the inner loop inside 610, there's technically a tiny loop where 45, 59, and I-10 come together, and that's like the inner part of the city. Outside of that is the 610 loop, and that's where, the Montrose area and all that stuff inside the 610 loop. We have inside of Beltway 8. Then there's 1960. Everything in Houston is like a loop. 1960 is a little weird because it's like a half. And if you know how to drive it, it's not that bad because it starts off, Highway 6, and then it turns into FM 1960. And then you can cut across and hit 146, run that all the way down to Texas City, Galveston. And if you want, you can come back up and hit Highway 6 and come back up the other side. And now they have 99 that they're adding on top of that. So Houston is like an hour from Houston. You can drive for an hour, no traffic, no anything, middle of the night, and you're still inside Houston. It's pretty much city anymore, from like Galveston all the way up to Conroe. The only thing keeping it from being city all the way up to Huntsville is probably the Sam Houston National Forest. Then you've got from Sugarland and Katy area, which is actually out a little further than that now, all the way past Baytown. So it's just kind of sprawled out. We don't quite have the number of people that they do out in LA yet. I'm not sure if we've overtaken Chicago or not. I think we're due to either this year or the next. The Houston area is bigger than the Chicago area, though, way bigger. But we're fixing to be the third largest city if we're not already. I think LA has more people, but the Houston area, if you superimpose it, I think would be bigger than the LA area. I'm talking like Oxnard all the way to Riverside, counting Santa Mila and all that stuff in it. I think Houston's bigger. Way bigger. Just not as many people yet. That's changing though. Anyways, I'm home. I've had a chat for about 42 minutes. Anyone that stopped in, thank you. I don't know how my audio is. And I will catch y'all later. I just want to do a chat on the way home. So, thank you and bye.